Hello and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, you'll learn how to use the Postgres update statement to update existing data in a table. Let's have a look at a typical syntax. So this is what the syntax will look like to update data in a table. So you start with the update keyword, followed by the name of the table. Then you use the set keyword. This set is important because this is what activates the change. So you type in the word set, followed by the column name you're trying to make the change on. Then you use the equals to sign. This equals to basically is what you use to change the value. So after the column name, you set the new value. If you're changing more than one column, then you separate the first column with a comma, and then you do the same for the second column. If you're adding more than two columns, again a comma, and so on. And then you specify a where condition. The where is important. The where acts as a filter to prevent you from updating any other records in the table. So the condition you specify in the where clause is important because that enables that only the columns that match the condition in the where clause will be updated. So let's see how this works. I've logged into the PG4 admin, and the database I'm going to use to illustrate is a database called Fruits, and it's inside the public schema. And the table I'm going to update is this table here called berries. So I'm going to right click on the berries table. One advantage of using this PG4 tool, it makes things a lot easier for you. So rather than me writing the script from scratch, I can just go here where it says script and select update, and it will begin writing some of these scripts for me. All I need to do is just make some modifications. So basically this is what it's done. It's saying this is the update statement. The public refers to the schema. Berries refers to the name of the table. So this is what I'm doing, is asking me what am I changing. So set here is what I need to specify what data I'm changing. So this indicates the name of the column. So I am going to, before you make any modification to a table, it's always best to see what the table contains first. So I'm going to do a quick select statement. Do a select star from berries. Where you've got more than one statement in the editor, it's best to highlight what you're trying to execute so that the editor doesn't get confused. That's one of the reasons you should always have a semicolon after each statement. Notice I have an error and the editor puts a dot where he thinks I've got the error. That's because I've got the name of my table wrong. So I've got a missed out an extra R. So I just type that in and I'll run the query again. All right, so this is the content of the table I'm trying to make some updates on. And when you are making update, the process is the same, whether you're making updates to one or several columns in a table. All right, say I want to make some modification to this here called strawberries. I want to change the name of the strawberry. I want to add some extra text. I just want to add strawberries and then followed by the word UK, just to indicate that the strawberries come from UK. So the way I would do that is in the set area, I will get rid of the ID because I'm not changing the ID. What I'm changing is the name. Okay, so I'm going to say set berry name. That's the name of this column. I'm going to set it and then I need an equals to sign to indicate the new value I'm going to give it. I'm going to call it strawberries UK. So I've added the word UK next to the strawberries. If I was to do that if I didn't include this where clause here, what that will do, it will update all the strawberry, everything here will update this to strawberries UK, that to strawberries UK, and this to strawberries UK. The where clause prevents that happening. This is very important because if you're in a production environment and you have thousands of records, if you don't include the where condition, it will just update everything, and that could be disastrous. So the where clause is very important. So I've used the set keyword to indicate where I want to make the change. So I'm changing the berry name, which is this here, to strawberries UK. In the where condition is where I need to attach the condition. So I will now say where berry underscore ID is equals to 1. So what that means, it will only change or update the records where this condition is true. You can see here the berry ID here is 1. So that means if I run this script, it will not affect the other records. So let's give that a go. I just select that and click on this to execute. If all goes well, it tells you query returned successfully. If I run this select statement again, you'll notice the change has been made. You can see now it's now updated this to strawberries UK. So that's how you perform an update statement on a table. The process is the same whether you are updating one record or 1,000 records. The key thing to take away here, you must not forget to include the where clause. If you don't include the where clause in an update, the update applies to the entire column in the table. So it's very important you use the where clause to prevent errors from happening or to prevent disastrous situations. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.